Hello, everyone. Welcome to this focus on event about NCAP and regulations powered by SCANeR. I'm Nicholas Mendagiev, your host, and I will be accompanied by our UTAC expert on testing and validation. Jeremy, would you like to introduce yourself?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jeremy Vergniaud. I'm the activity leader of the simulation activity in UTAC, and I'm also the expert of the simulation in UTAC.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. So during this presentation, as mentioned, we will be talking about our UTAC and regulations pack, NCAP and regulations pack. So let's get started. The agenda of today's presentation will begin by an introduction about simulation in general and testing and homologation. Jeremy will then give a presentation about the NCAP scenarios pack from his point of view, from his expert point of view. I will then situate the NCAP and scenarios pack in our SCANeR offer, and we'll end up by a little question and answer session at the end of the presentations. So before going into the subject, I wanted to give you a little introduction about this. The driving simulation nowadays is an essential activity in any automotive and in any company that is focused on automotive, because we still have many fatalities and injuries each year due to the lack of how should I say, intelligence in our vehicles, which is a trend nowadays. The vehicles are becoming more and more intelligent due to the augmentation of their features in terms of assisted driving. So nowadays, an ECU has more than 6,000 requirements, and the code composing these ECUs has been estimated to 100 million lines of code in 2020, and is estimated to become a billion lines of code by 2030, which is a massive software and requirements to test and validate, which cannot be done obviously in real life. So this has to be done through simulation. The good example of this is the company Waymo that performs either real test drives and simulated driving. And in 2019, they were able to perform 10 million physical miles, and in the same range of time, they were able to perform 10 billion simulated miles, which shows that in simulation you're able to test and validate more features and more code than in real life. And the homologation and the type of approval are becoming more and more significant as the cars evolve, because authorities need to have need to trust the vehicles that are put on the market to be safe and tested and validated. So to answer this trend of simulation and testing and validation, we, AVSimulation and UTAC, have been bridging the gap between virtual and testing and physical testing, because we have a unique partnership between an industry actor that is expert in testing and homologation. So this is the UTAC, and AVSimulation, which expertise is in simulation and scenario making. So together, we built a unique partnership, the first solution in the world to incorporate these kind of features from experts of the testing and homologation and experts of the simulation. And we managed to create the NCAP and regulations SCANeR scenario pack, which will allow you to test and validate your vehicles in real scenarios that have been built by UTAC, but Jeremy will talk about this later. And as we've mentioned, this is a mega trend because the usage of simulation will be needed into the future. One of the best examples we can get is that the ALKS homologation of automated driving level 3 is something to be coming, and this will be a regulation, not only a feature of the vehicle. So this will be needed for every vehicle that has an ALKS in automated driving up to level 3 automated driving. So I will now pass the microphone to Jeremy, who will do his presentation. And I will get back to you after his presentation. Jeremy, thank you.
Okay. So I will present you the contents of what we provide in SCANeR Studio. So as mentioned by Nicolas, we have a strong partnership with AVSimulation. The main idea of UTAC is to provide all our expertise in Scenario through a pack as an add-on of the software. So in the pack, you will find all the scenarios that we have developed. We provide also the proving ground. We have a module called UTAC Driver. It's the driving robots used on the physical tests that are modeled to drive your ego vehicle. We have also UTAC Score, which is a module that will output the performances of your system in virtual. So basically, you will have the score of your ADAS system according to official protocol. And we also provide a preview scenario because UTAC is involved in all the working group of Euro NCAP and regulation. So we add a scenario to anticipate incoming protocol. You will have also the maintenances of all the scenario. It will follow all the SCANeR Studio update, for example, or if a scenario is updated in the protocol. What I can mention also is that SCANeR Studio and our scenario are compatible with MATLAB Simulink, C++, Python, and so on. So you can plug your system easily, and you can run all the scenario to assess your system. So this is the worldwide development that we have provided. So we have developed more than 700 scenarios included in the pack. So this is around 17 protocols in 6 pack, and it's fully plug and play. So you have the US NCAP, for example, Euro NCAP, China NCAP, Japan NCAP. We have also Australia developed in the pack. So I will show you all the content of each pack. For European pack, you will have the AEB 2023 with all the scenario like the head-on, the car-to-car crossing, the pedestrian scenario, also bicycle, and scenario that is new in this protocol is also scenario around the motorcycle also. We have had also the AD protocol of Euro NCAP 2021, and you will have access to ALKS scenario with also the scenario from the Annex 5, like the entering, traffic light, and so on. For the China pack, you will have all the scenario from China NCAP, including also the car to scooter scenario, and you will have the regulation protocol with also until false response for car-to-car scenario. And as you can see, we have also the target that are Chinese vehicle according to the protocol. For the Japan NCAP, you have all the protocol for the scenario for car-to-car, car-to-pedestrian, including night test, which is very important in this protocol. And for the Korea, you will have access to all the scenario for car-to-car, pedestrian, bicycle, and also lane support system. And for Australia, so it's the same protocol as Euro NCAP, but it's for vehicle with a left-hand drive system. So you will have all the scenario like Euro NCAP, but in reverse. So what we provide in the pack, as you can see, for a simulation with ADAS system, you have several parts in. You have the ego vehicle, including the dynamic model, the ADAS control law, and the sensor. You need the target for the scenario, the proving ground, and you need a driver to control the ego vehicle. So in UTAC, in the pack, we provide all the gray parts, including all the movements of the targets. You have the 3D proving ground used in UTAC Tecmo, and we provide also the driver to have all the behavior to control your ego vehicle. So the main idea of that is that you just have to focus your development on the ego vehicle with your model, and you can plug it to the simulation and run all the scenario of NCAP and regulation. If you are a tier 1, for example, for the sensor, you have access also to a vehicle from the library of SCANeR Studio. So this is just an overview of the Tecmo proving ground in UTAC that we have modeled. As you can see, with Unreal Engine, you have a quite good fidelity of images for the camera sensor, for example. So we have modeled all the building on the proving ground, and we have all the shadow moving with the sun and so on. And this is quite important for ADAS validation. So for the driving robot, when you perform a test on proving ground, you will have a steering robot, an accelerator robot, and a braking robot to test your vehicle. So this means that your test will be repeatable between each vehicle that we test in physical test. And we have modeled all the behavior of these three robots, including the trajectory following for the ego vehicle, the speed following also, and something quite important for FCW scenario is the braking robot calibrated, because in the protocol you have a force to put on the braking pedal to have the right deceleration of your vehicle. And we have also behavior for lane support assist system. For example, when your vehicle will go on the lane, the steering robot have to release at a time, and this is in the UTAC driver module. This is a UTAC Score, the application link in real time with SCANeR Studio. We are currently in an update of UTAC Score to allow UTAC Score to work with the massive simulation. So on the left screen, you can see UTAC Scenario running, and on the right side, you can see all the color of your NCAP protocol according to to the performances of the system. So basically, you can run all the scenario during the night, and in the morning, you will have all the score of your system according to the NCAP assessment. Something quite important also, you can save the spreadsheet with all the performances of your system, and you can load it also to compare it, for example, to your physical test and to make a correlation. For the Japan NCAP and also your NCAP, you have a night scenario. And as you can see, we have correlated the luminosity seen by the vehicle in the simulation. We have performed a lot of night test measurements on our proving ground to have the right luminosity seen by the vehicle. And this is just a video to show you a digital twin. So on the top left side, you can see the real test, and in the main screen, you can see the test in the simulation. So the digital twin is very important for us. All the scenarios that we develop, except, for example, ALKS, which is a theoretical scenario, we collect all the data on the proving ground to have to match what you will have if you test your vehicle on our proving ground. Something new this year, we have developed all the ALKS scenario, including the Annex 5 scenario. For example, you have a closed lane entering scenario. You have traffic light also and exiting. So all of this scenario can be run in massive simulation, and you have access to variable to generate a lot of scenario around that. So the main idea is to validate your LKS system because vehicles are incoming with this system, for example, the Mercedes Class S. And you can tune your system and see if you can pass the homologation of your LKS level 3. For the China NCAP, there is 2 scenarios that are quite dedicated to this protocol. The first one is the false positive adjacent lane here. So basically, your vehicle don't have to react to the target on the left side. And one which is quite important also is the scooter scenario. So we have the targets of the China pack developed in SCANeR Studio. For the Japanese NCAP, there is quite differences in a night scenario. For example, the far side pedestrian. So you have a vehicle with a headlight on the side, and we have reproduced it in SCANeR Studio. And as you can see, you can also see what your sensor see in the scenario with the boxes around the target. And also lane support system. So as you can see here, it is a scenario with the lane on the left. So we have developed it on our proving ground in France. And you have also the same with the right line. So it's an important system to validate, and with the simulation and UTAC driver, you can have the same scenario as you will have on the proving ground with the same reaction of the driving robot. Let's talk about the roadmap of this year. So we are currently releasing the update of ALKS with a higher speed of 130 kilometers. We are releasing also the massive simulation for all the protocols that we have developed, and also all the module. And later in this year, we will develop the driving simulator pack to help you to have a pack with your driving simulator. And we are currently also working on a preview for NCAP 2025. So we are working to include V-tweets, for example, in SCANeR Studio, something that will come in incoming protocol. So Nicolas, I think you can continue.
Yeah, thank you, Jeremy. Thank you for the presentation. So let's resituate a little bit this NCAP and regulations pack into our SCANeR offer. Just to remind you that, oh, sorry. There's a little bit of lag on my side. Just to remind you that SCANeR has different packs in which different features are embedded. First of all, the foundation pack is self-sufficient. This is the first pack that is needed to run SCANeR Studio. So it includes, of course, SCANeR Studio, all the 5 modes of SCANeR Studio. The simulation can be run standalone with this pack, but to this we can add different packs that are made to test and validate different functions of the vehicle. We have the AD ADAS pack for testing your AD ADAS systems. We provide in this pack functional sensors, perfect sensors as we call them, that will provide, no matter what, the information from the simulation that you have asked, in order to feed your system under test, your AD ADAS software, and test and validate it. We also provide the physics-based sensors pack, which is more focused on developing sensors rather than the systems themselves. This includes, of course, the real-time real-time physics and the full physics-based sensors. We also have a headlights pack for headlights test characterization and validation, the vehicle dynamics pack, which talks about itself, and the human factors pack with different connections to monitoring systems such as eye tracking, HMDs. We can also incorporate like heartbeat tracking, etc. And about how you want to validate these different features of your vehicle, we have also packs that answer to the question on which architecture do you want to test and validate this. And here you can find the NCAP and regulations pack, which enables you to test and validate your vehicle in NCAP scenario situations, and it can be used either on workstation simulation, or is to come also the possibility to test and validate this in massive simulation. Okay. So just to remind you about the SCANeR product family, we have our catalog of scenarios that are incorporated into SCANeR Studio, and we can use these scenarios in order to create, thanks to SCANeR Explorer, we can create a batch of scenarios with different parameters. For instance, if you want to test and validate your vehicle in the different speeds of that the protocol requires it to be tested, you can create all these scenarios and execute them in massive simulation thanks to SCANeR Compute. And afterwards, you would have you would have a database with the results with which you can compare the results to other how should I say uh, to uh, to other passes of your tests, and this would enable you to accelerate the way you are testing and validating vehicles just by changing just by um, creating a batch of scenarios based on one scenario that is parameterized. This is coming into the next release of the NCAP and Regulations pack in SCANeR 2022.2, which is soon to be coming. And here is a little demonstration about how the NCAP and scenario how a NCAP scenario works. So in this case, we are trying a braking scenario with a bicycle that you can see here. On this vehicle, we are adding a sensors configuration, which only holds a long range radar for now. If we go into the addition of this sensor, you can see that it is positioned along with the distance of the vehicle. We can set the different types of visibility, the different noise that can be applied to this sensor, but for now we will leave this as is. And also you can change all the parameters for the sensors, for the sensor at beams, at different beams, their horizontal and vertical fields of view, the different targets that they are detecting, etc. So now that we have shown that there is a sensor, we launch the simulation with our AEB that is plugged into the simulation. This is a basic AEB only for the demonstration purposes, but on your side you will be able to develop, I believe, more advanced AEBs. So the simulation launches with the parameter here of the speed of the vehicle. As we can see, it is running towards the target. You can see the vehicle speed, the target speed, the distance to impact. And now we see that the bicycle is moving according to the vehicle and that the vehicle stops. After we have completed our test, we will have UTAC Score, as Jeremy showed you. And you see that in this tab, we have, in this array, we have here the number of points that our vehicle has in this test at 55 kilometers per hour. So you're able afterwards to save this spreadsheet and also to reload it after you want to compare it to other vehicles. Keep in mind that one thing that I wanted to remind you is that if you don't have in-house the expertise to generate and to use these scenarios, we at AVSimulation have a services department that can help you do all these things and provide help with the homologation of your vehicle. For instance, we can provide advice on how to build your tests, how to build your vehicle's dynamics, your different sensors, how to add them to the scenario, or if you're willing to delegate the work directly, we're able to build this simulation for you and also to operate it. So we are able to provide one or all the steps in the workflow of your testing in simulation, your homologation, and afterwards you will be able to go to the proving grounds with the results that we have provided. The real focus of these packs is for you to ace your NCAP and regulation tests. This is done by interfacing your own model into the simulation, either the vehicle's dynamics, the sensors. If you have a full vehicle dynamics model in Simulink or FMI, it is totally possible to import this model into the simulation loop, into SCANeR. And this will enable you to run the tests in the simulation by using your actual systems, whether they are ADAS systems, physics-based sensors. You can also incorporate your vehicle's dynamics, your full vehicle's dynamics, and perform these tests into massive simulation. And this will enable you to ace your NCAP and regulation tests. And where, as Jeremy mentioned, the various packs are available and are available for every region in the world right now. We built a little comparison in order for you to understand the benefits and the return on investments of the SCANeR plus the NCAP and regulations pack. So, for instance, in order for you to pass the Euro NCAP certification, you would typically have to during the development sessions, you would typically have to have from 5 to 10 sessions, and each session will cost you about 120,000 euros, which is justified by the expertise of the testing center, the driving robots, the instrumentation of the vehicle, etc. The pre-test session is to the number of 1 or 2 typically, and is the same price as the development sessions. And the official session is a one-shot session in which your vehicle will be tested on all of these scenarios. And also, the homologation test from the European Commission is a one-shot test that homologates your AEB and is around 20k euros. So we arrive at a cost of approximately 800,000 euros to 1.5 million euros without the prototype costs, the drivers, the engineers, the prototypes that will eventually be damaged and not usable anymore. So this is a quite heavy cost to homologating only one vehicle. With the SCANeR, with SCANeR and the NCAP regulation packs, you arrive at 1 to 3 trials typically, 1 trial in the pre-test session, and only one as previously official test for the European Commission and for the Euro NCAP certification, which leads us to costs around 40,000 euros and 7,000 euros, 700,000 euros. Sorry. This is really a great return on investment, because the SCANeR, the pack NCAP and regulations for SCANeR is between 16k euros and 60k euros, depending on the number of packs that you acquire. So as you can see, this is a really good return on investment, because you are able to save money either on the trials, on the number of them, and also on the physical prototypes that will be damaged during the simulation, during the real tests. Sorry, the drivers are not put into danger. Less engineers are involved into this, so this is really a good return on investment. And also feel free to access our different websites, YouTube channels, LinkedIn channels, etc., because there's really a lot of content there to be seen. Also, you can access this workshop directly onto our YouTube channel. It will be uploaded on our YouTube channel, and you can request directly a trial version of SCANeR Studio and the NCAP Regulations pack directly from our website. So there's a little form to be filled, and afterwards we send you a trial version. And also, we host an event, the SCANeR Day, the 18th of October 2022. It is the location of the event is in Paris, close to the Champs-Élysées, and is held on afterwards. There is a dinner cruise on the Seine, so this is a quite nice event. And I hope to meet you there, of course. Thank you for attending this event once again. And if you have any questions, any concerns, feel free to send me or Jeremy an email, or directly to through our contact form on the website, and we'll be happy to answer to you.